Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, things are fairly quiet. Stock index futures, commodities, and Bitcoin are all trading above fair value coming into Friday morning's open. We don't have any major economic numbers coming out, and so far the market has done a good job digesting the earnings that have been reported. Now, on Friday mornings, I like to print off some weekly charts just to see how the market is doing going into the weekend. And that's just to get me ready, mentally prepared to see if any long-term money is coming in or out of the market. Starting off with Bitcoin, Bitcoin has made new all-time highs this week. It's trying to hit 125,000. That's our next price target. The US dollar index has been up 2 weeks in a row. It has not generated a buy signal just yet, but is heading towards one if the US dollar index continues to move higher over the next couple of weeks. Now, bonds were down this week. They're still on a weekly sell signal. Bonds moving down means bond yields are moving up. And at some point, that could hurt the stock market. It is not doing so coming into Friday's trading action. Looking at the price of crude oil, down 81 cents on the week, so not a major move and certainly not a close below the previous week's low. Looking at the price of gold, it's down $18.70 so far this week, but a little bit of that is being erased in the pre-market on Friday morning, so no change there. Now, with both crude oil and gold trading down this week, the TSX has been able to make new all-time highs, up 1.35% on the week. S&P 500 up just over 0.5%, making a new all-time high. And the NASDAQ 100 up 1.32%, also making a new all-time high. Now, looking at the Russell 2000, it is up on the week, but not above last week's high and certainly nowhere near an all-time high for the Russell 2000. Now, gold stocks are down on the week, 2.58%, no major change there. And then looking at semiconductors, they're up just under 0.75% and heading towards the highs that we saw in the spring of 2024. Now, moving back to the daily charts and looking at the fear index, and we've been talking about 3 degrees of fear, and so we're monitoring the VIX here and looking at the daily right side chart. We're still on a sell signal. We traded above the upper channel line the other day, but did not close above it. So yesterday we closed at 1652, and on Friday we're looking for a close above 1763. That would be the first sign that options traders are getting concerned about the direction of the stock market and starting to bid up the price of portfolio insurance, and that would be the first indication. The second level of fear would be if it started breaking out above the tether line on the midterm chart, which is currently set at $20. And so if we're above 20, then that would be the second degree of fear. That would make us more concerned about the direction of the stock market. And then if the VIX were to start breaking out above the top of the flypaper channel, which has been able to contain any upward movement in the VIX over the past 4 months, a move above 22, that would be the third degree of fear. And that would certainly get us concerned about the direction of the stock market. Now, for longer-term investors, right now we're looking at a weekly VIX chart, and we're looking for a close above 2312 today after 4 p.m. or next Friday after 4 p.m. And that upper channel line is going to continue to move lower weekly. So that would be the fourth degree of fear. And if that were to happen, then of course we become long-term bearish on the market. Right now, we're short-term and long-term bullish on the market until the VIX starts to change direction. Now, looking at the major index ETFs, and we're looking at price targets this morning. For the iShares for the TSX 60, our next target is 42.19. For the Vanguard Canada ETF, we're getting closer and closer to the 56.25 level. Then looking at the SPY for the S&P 500, we're still stuck to the 625 level. If we can start breaking away, then 640.63 comes into play. The NASDAQ 100 has got very close to our 562.50 level. Yesterday, we got as high as 562.31. So we should be able to hit that target on Friday. Then looking at the iShares for the Russell 2000, we're trying to get to 225 once again, and got pretty close to that yesterday, got to 224.20, and so that should be hit on Friday. Then looking at U.S. financials, we're looking for a move back up to the 53.13. And if the market is going to continue to move higher from here, we would anticipate that we'd have to break out above that 53.13 level. And for banks, we're looking for a move above the 59.38 level to tell us that this rally is going to continue throughout the summer. Looking at gold stocks and looking at the GDX, 50 is a big round number and a nice potential area of support. Then looking at the XGD in Toronto, we have been in a range for the past couple of months here since the end of May, and looking to see if we can break out of that range. You can see that we have not traded down to the 29.69 level, but we have traded down to just above $30. So the $30, which is a big round number for this ETF, is holding this ETF in check at the moment. I'll finish off today's presentation with a quick recap of the Magnificent Seven stocks. And in our list, it's actually 9 stocks, but these stocks have been leading the market higher, and not just because they're moving up, but just because of how big they are in terms of market cap. So there's the Magnificent Seven ETF making a new closing high yesterday. Some of the stocks aren't participating at the moment. There's just a couple of them, but there's Apple. It's still on a buy signal here. No change in trend from Thursday's trading action. Very quiet trading inside day. Very quiet trading for Meta on Thursday as well. It's back on a sell signal. And then looking at Tesla not doing much at the moment, still on a buy signal here. So those 3 stocks aren't really trending with the rest of the Magnificent Seven. There's Amazon inside day on Thursday. There's a new high for Broadcom on Thursday. There's a new closing high for Alphabet for this move. And then looking at Microsoft, there's a new high for Microsoft on both sides of the border. There's a new high for NVIDIA. And NVIDIA, we're trying to get to $175, got as high as $174.16 on Thursday. Shopify participated in Thursday's rally, 2 big up days on Wednesday and Thursday. And on the TSX, Shopify hit our next price target of 175, got as high as 175.07. And so if you had a sell order in up there, congratulations, you got to lock in some profits. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. We are up at the top of our projected trading range for the NASDAQ. We almost touched it yesterday. We may touch it today, and it'll be interesting to see if the market is able to push through that at this particular time. We're also looking at NVIDIA at the $175 level to see if it can punch through that as well. That would be a good indication that the market wants to continue to move higher into the end of July. Otherwise, we may be peaking up here at the moment, and we'll be certainly watching for the VIX as a confirmation that the market wants to start moving down. But coming into Friday's trading action, we're not seeing any negative signs out there to scare anybody, but you should be taking money off the table as your particular symbols that you're following hit those price targets on the way up. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend. If you're a member, next time you'll hear my voice will be on Sunday. If you're a non-member, the next time you'll hear my voice is on Monday morning, and we'll walk through the most actively traded stocks from Friday's trading action.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.